Hey, talk to me. What does your HOA fee cover?
It includes grounds maintenance, so they cut the grass, they remulch the yard every however so often they do it. Included in that, we have a pool in the community, we have a clubhouse in the community that is available for rent. That includes trash pickup, and I think that's it. There's a gym, there's a playground. Um, Now, granted, I don't use most of that stuff. I still have to pay my $110. I think that it's not bad based on what I hear other people pay for what they get. I think it's a pretty
There's a
decent
lot
deal.
of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are a lot of places in DC where you'll pay several $100s and you won't get as nearly as much. It'll be a self-managed building without any additional amenities. So that's really great.
Right.
And you
Right.
won't be in proximity to a metro. So yeah, that's an awesome deal. Talk to me. So as far as the HOA, so it sounds like that was a win for you. So even though you like the other house, you like in hindsight, you don't mind paying the HOA fee for the added conveniences that you're getting. And it seems like you're getting a lot of those.
hmm Yeah,
Um,
it seems pretty um, good deal, I think. Yeah.
so talk to me about your planning process. So the planning of going into buying a house. I know you said that this is something that you wanted to do before you were 40, and that makes complete sense. But what additional planning or preparation did you do to get started?
So in the process, one of the things that, well, a couple of things I had to do. When I first started the process, of course, I checked my credit. Um, Credit score was not where I wanted it to be in order to get the interest rates that I wanted. Um, Also, in order to even get approved for the amount of house that I wanted. So I had to work on obviously paying off some of my creditors to improve my credit score, lower some of the balances on my credit card. So it took me about, I would say, 6 months
Okay.
um,
That's pretty
to
quick.
yeah, relatively quick. It took me about 6 months to get where I wanted to be. So I did that. I had to um, go back and take care of some tax issues. You know, all the stuff you kind of sweep in the closet that you think will go away. Of course, all came back up, but it wasn't anything too major. So um, I had to do that. Then I had to sit down and kind of map out, exactly how much money I wanted to save or that I needed to save rather in order to do what I wanted to do. So it was a relatively painless process. I think the biggest part of anguish in this whole process was actually finding the house, um, finding something that you want, being outbid, uh, deals falling through, all the typical nightmares you hear of.
Okay. And how many times did you get outbid? Or how many times
Um,
did you lose the deal, should I say?
Three.
Three. And how long did it take you to find the house? Well, I know you found two houses, but to find this house.
So the whole process, probably from like the first time I looked at a house
Mhm.
to finding this house, was probably about 3 months.
Okay, it's not bad. So
Yeah,
like
maybe a little less than three actually.
okay, okay, nice. So talk to I want to switch gears and talk about Realtor Choice because in this period of time, I didn't know you, so you had already bought the house. So clearly, I was
Mhm.
not a Realtor Choice or in the candidate, right, in the candidate field. So talk to me about your Realtor Choice. How did you come up with saying I choose you? Like, how did you make that decision?
So the realtor that I had, I actually met at a social function. Um, we were at the dinner table and just started conversation, and he told me that he was a realtor and was telling me about his job, and I was like, oh, I've been thinking about buying a home, and so I was kind of picking his brain. And one of the things that I liked about him was that he was not like consistently down my throat after that, like calling me every week, like, what's going on. So I periodically would just ask him questions as I was trying to navigate this in my own mind. And he would, answer my questions. And he would always say, do whatever you need to do. When you're ready to jump in, give me a call. And so I had conversation with him over a period of months. And then I finally decided that I was ready to do it. And so because we had that relationship, I just gave him a call and I was like, I'm ready. But if I could do it all over again, of course I'd call you.
Well, I appreciate that. That's awesome. So how important was, and you said a really key word, was it relationship. How important to you was that relationship?
I think relationship is really important because I do have members of my family who are real estate agents, and I knew right from I would love to support my family, but I feel like that for me personally would just not be a good decision because I feel like there are things that I can do or say to people that I'm not that connected to that I wouldn't be able to do, unfortunately, with my family. And so I do have friends, well, I maybe have 2 or 3 friends who are real estate agents, and I was just thinking about that whole process. And I feel like, so, it is a standard process. You want the home, here's the money, pay that. But on a relationship level, there has to be a level of trust and understanding between the two. And so even in the past where I've had friends who were interested in purchasing a home, I really do think about what is this person's character like? What are their temperaments? And what person do I know that is an agent that would be best suited for this person? Because, your lives kind of become entangled for that period of time. And so you don't want, I'm sure you want to sell a house at the end of the day, but you don't want to do that at the cost of going through, dealing with someone else's crazy, So I think it has to be a good match on both ends.
Okay. No, that makes a complete sense. That makes 100% sense. Now I want to switch. I know we're talking out of order, but I want to talk about the pre-approval. Getting the pre-approval when you decided, I'm sure that was the first thing that needed to happen, right? Before you went out and saw properties. Talk to me about what your feelings were with doing that. Like what was in your headspace, your mental space?
So when I first decided to go through the pre-approval process, I used Quicken Loans because one of my friends had recently purchased a house, and he said that that's what he used, and he was satisfied with it. So I went online. It was a quick process. I filled out the information, and I was really just doing it just to see what would happen. And they got back to me, and they're like, you've been approved. I was like, get out of here. Like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, seriously? So you go online, they ask you some questions about your finances, you send them your tax returns, bank statements, whatever documents they request. And that was a relatively quick process. And I remember looking at the amount that they pre-approved me for. I was like, oh, I'm glad you think that I can afford that much house because in my head, I'm still not seeing these numbers work out. So I did get that pre-approval, but I did end up not even using Quicken Loans because my realtor had relationship with another bank, and he asked me if I would be open to, going through that process with someone else. And I was like, sure, if I can get a better deal, why not?
And did you find that was by shopping around with another lender, did you find that you got a little bit better deal?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I did.
And so that kind of goes to the power of realizing that you were kind of in control. Like, did you feel a sense of wow, I'm kind of the it kid? They're kind of vying for your business at that point.
So I did feel like that, but at the same time, I also I was a little hesitant because I felt like every time I did it, it was another hit against my credit. And I know you can do a certain amount within a time period. So I tried to do as much shopping as I could within that, window so that it wouldn't impact my credit score.
And did you get a loan statement or a loan estimate sheet disclosure so you were able to kind of compare what the rates and the fees that they were offering you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I did get it. Hmm.
And what did you find that helpful, or was that informative in making your decision?
Um, yes and no, because there was a lot of numbers, and so it kind of made. I'm not a numbers person. I will gladly admit that. So I did get a little assistance in understanding what it all meant, long term. And so yeah, it was helpful just to have that. I mean, versus
Okay,
not having it.
good.
If you
Right,
have
right,
someone
right.
who
Makes
can
sense.
interpret all that for you, if you're not a numbers person.
Right, that makes sense. So, talk to me about your house now. So, you're in the house. You've been there for 2 years. Talk to me about the favorite. What's your favorite part of the house?
Favorite part of my house is probably, I think I have two favorite parts actually. So my downstairs area is my favorite because that's normally where I spend most of my time. That's where the bar is.
Okay.
Um, and it was the first space that I completely finished.
You did
So
that work yourself,
yeah,
or contract, you paid for it, or whatever, however that worked. Oh,
yeah.
nice.
So actually, what happened was that so I closed on my house on the 15th of May. After I closed on the house, I came to the house, walked around like, oh my God, this is all mine. Um, totally excited. Then I left and did not come back to the house for 3 days. When I came back on the third day, I pulled up and I heard this noise that I didn't know what it was. Come into the house, go downstairs, it's completely flooded. Like there's water everywhere. I go into the garage and water is just coming out of the water heater everywhere.
Hmm.
Not familiar with the house. I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? Um, First thing, I can't call the rental office because I don't have one. So I was like, oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? So the first person I called was actually my real estate agent. I was like, there's water everywhere. Like, what do I do? So he's like, turn off the water. Where is that? So he's like, so he's trying to like guide me to where he thinks it should be. So I finally turn off the water. Everything's flooded. Like, okay, what do I do now? So luckily, I had homeowners insurance. Um, they were able to cover those damages. It's kind of a blessing in disguise because I was not in love with the floors in the basement. So this was now the perfect opportunity because the floors were ruined. So yeah, I ended up pulling up all of the floor downstairs in the basement, and I got new floors, painted, reconstructed my bar, all of that stuff. So
And that goes to the power of a home warranty. I can't tell you how many times that I've had a client, and the client's told me, I don't want a home warranty. I'll just get it later. I'll just get it, a month or two after the contract. And you were literally gone 3 days and that house flooded. And so had you
yeah,
not had that home warranty from day one, you would probably just be finishing up paying for the cost of those repairs out of pocket almost.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And you do
Yeah,
have
it turned out
a
there
beautiful
was
downstairs area. So
again.
I said you do have a beautiful downstairs area. So
Thank you.
definitely well
Thank
worth it. Well worth the what, $600 or so for the policy for the year?
you. Yeah. It turned out there was a hairline crack in one of the pipes. So they said the home inspector wouldn't have even caught it. So it wasn't
Wow.
like it was due to someone's negligence.
So that really kind of goes back to when you buy a house, you are like you are the landlord. You have to have kind of at least in your tool bag the resources to figure out whom to go to in order to resolve issues and problems. And
Right.
unfortunately, your real estate agent had the resources to assist you with that, at least to guide you. He paid attention during the home inspection and could tell you how to shut the water off.
Yeah, because I had no clue.
Yeah. Good. Oh wow, what a story. That is insane. Okay, so that's the first part, your favorite area. What's the second area that you said that you like? That's your favorite.
My bedroom.
Oh, okay.
So I painted my bedroom an emerald green because
Oh,
green's my favorite color.
okay.
And It's just a very soothing room for me. I also wanted to go with the minimalist look in my
Okay.
bedroom.
Okay.
So when you walk into my bedroom, there aren't any like dressers or nightstands. There's a bed and there is a chaise and there is a television and that's it. So when I walk into that space, like up until now, like my room was probably one of the most disorganized spaces in my home. And I have a big walk-in closet in my bedroom, so
Ah.
I love every day at the end of the day going up to my room and it's just peaceful. I
Oh,
don't have to
perfect.
step over clothes or any of that other stuff.
Okay. Awesome. All right. So I want to shift gears with you a little bit. And I want to play a game. This is what I'm calling the lightning round until I come up with a better name for it. So I'm going to say words
Okay.
about things that are in your house or are go to your house. And I want you just to spit out the first thing that comes to mind, what emotion these words invoke for you. All right. You ready? So don't think
No.
about it. Just say the first thing that comes to mind. All right. All
All
right.
right.
Stove,
I need a new one.
driveway,
I need a longer one.
guess,
Oh,
you're thinking.
I am thinking. Not another one.
Garage,
Empty.
patio,
Brick.
kitchen,
I love it. I love to cook. I love being in the kitchen.
and then finally bedroom.
Peaceful.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, Ray, thank you so much for joining me and being featured here. Ray, any final thoughts for the folks out there in TV land?
I think that you can do whatever you put your mind to. Don't be distracted by the process or your finances. If it's something that is a little scary for you, trust me, it'll all work itself out. It's worth the investment. Go for it.
Hey there, fam. So hopefully you really enjoyed that interview with Ray. There's great additional content that's coming your way. New interviews, new content. Hope you enjoy it. I'm Brandon, your trusted realtor. Take care, DMV.